So, this is a close-up of your EV3 brick. There are a lot of symbols over here that have to deal with Bluetooth, wireless. We don't use that, so you don't have to worry about that. The brick name is located at the top. This particular brick is named EV3. Your brick will be named EV3 underscore, and then it'll have a number, and that number corresponds to the number found on your kit. This USB icon is to show that it's connected through USB to your computer, and then this just shows you the different battery symbols, which I'm sure you're familiar with other devices. The buttons here are what I'm going to focus on. Number one is the back button. This button is used to reverse actions, to abort a running program, and to shut down the EV3 brick. So if you're doing something, if you're going in a menu and you're not where you want to be and you want to go back, you use this top left button here that's marked with a 1. If your robot is running on the table, gets stuck, and the wheels just keep spinning, or it's about to rip something off the board, hit 1 and it'll stop your robot from running. It's also how you shut down the robot. As it says, you'll keep hitting that until you get to the shutdown screen, which I'll show you later. 2 is the center button. Pressing the center button says OK to various questions. To shut down, to select desired settings, or to select blocks in the brick program app, which we're not going to be using because you have your laptop. You would, for example, press this button to select a checkbox. So if you're going through and you want to select headbanger, you'd press the 3 button here for down, as it says here, left, right, up, down, just like on a regular D-pad. And this is to navigate through the different menus. Left and right will take you to these different menus here. Up and down will work your way through them. So if you wanted to go to headbanger, you would hit the down arrow once, and then you would hit the 2 to say OK, and that will open up the headbanger folder. And then you go down to the headbanger program, most likely hitting 3, and then 2 to start the program. So those are the buttons that you'll be using on your EV3 brick. And as we continue to move forward, you'll see that there's also the brick status light. This tells us some things, and it's also something that you can control using your code. So for example, as it says up here on the list, red means that it's starting up, updating, or shutting down. This means, hey, I'm doing something right now, you can't use me, be patient. Red pulsing means busy, it's like thinking. Orange means alert, ready. I've never seen an EV3 brick be orange unless it's been programmed to be orange. Orange pulsing means alert, running. Green means that it's ready to go. That's usually what you'll see when it's on, is that you can use the buttons, you can press it, you can run your programs. And then if it's pulsing, it'll be running a program, unless, of course, you use the code to change that color from green to orange or red. As it says here, you can also program the brick status light to show different colors and to pulse when different conditions are met. And that's something that we can learn more as we run through. Looking more closely at the brick, we have ports up here that are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the input ports for the sensors. So if you want to use your touch sensor, you can plug it into 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then you'll use your code to tell the brick, okay, on port 3 is where the touch sensor is. So when you program it, you'll put in the touch sensor and you'll tell the program that the touch sensor is in port 3. However, it'll work in any port. It doesn't matter. And you can have, as you can see, up to 4 sensors plugged in at the same time. If you were to look at the other end of the brick, you'll see that you have 4 more ports, except these are labeled A, B, C, and D. These are your output ports. This is where you're going to send out information to your motors. At the most, you'll only have 3 of these filled in because you only have 3 motors. So you'll have B and C for your large motors to move your robot, and then you'll likely use A or D for your large motor to have those arm or extensions being able to use your medium motor for those movements. The other important port on this end is the PC port. This is where you plug in your mini USB end of your USB cable into your EV3 brick, and then you'll plug the other end into your laptop so that you can download your program. The important thing to remember here is that this is input. This is the sensors. This is how the EV3 learns about its world. It uses those sensors to get information in the same ways that we use our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our ears to get information from the world. And then, based on what you tell it to do from these inputs, it then gives a corresponding output to the motors, in which case that's your brain telling, all right, if I smell fire, I'm going to tell my legs to output to run and get out because there's probably danger. On the side of the brick, you're going to see that there's the speaker. If you decide to program your robot to play sounds or music, that's where the music will come from. And then on the flip side, you have a USB port. This is not the one that you're going to use to download. That's just if you had like a flash drive and you wanted to put something on there, and an SD slot, which we will not be using either. So the big focus here is the speaker, and more importantly, the input ports, which are numbered 1 through 4 for the sensors, and the output ports A, B, C, and D for the motors. And then the batteries, if you have to put the batteries in, you'll notice here that it says you're going to put your thumbs on both of them and push in and up. Should pop out. You're going to take this, put it plus and minus side in first, and then put it down so it snaps in, and you should be good to go. Those are most likely already in for you, but just in case they're not, there are the directions. And lastly, you have the EV3 brick. To turn it on the brick, press the center button. After you press the center button, the brick status light will turn red, and the starting screen will be displayed, which is this screen here, Mindstorm starting. Sometimes it could take a minute or two for the robot to kick on. There's a lot to go through. When the light changes to green, your EV3 brick is ready. To turn off the EV3 brick, press the back button until you see the shutdown screen. So you're going to continue to hit this button here until you see the power symbol and shut down. So when you do this, it's going to be set to the X. So if you see the screen hit the center button, which was the 2 in our first diagram, it's not going to shut down. Instead, you want to keep hitting the back arrow until you get to this screen, and then hit right and the center button, and that will highlight the check and make the EV3 shut down. So there you have it. Good luck.